Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 18, which is entitled as Sannyasa Yoga, Sloka 14 and 15, Part 6. Adhiṣṭhānaṁ tathā kartā, karaṇaṁ ca pṛthag-vidham, vividhāś pṛthak ceṣṭā, daivaṁ caivātra pañcamam, śarīra-vāṅ-manobhir karma prārabhate naraḥ, nyāyyaṁ viparītaṁ pañcaite tasya hetavaḥ. The place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the Supersoul. These are the 5 factors of action. Whatever right or wrong action a man performs by body, mind, or speech is caused by these 5 factors. From the previous sessions, we understand that we alone cannot be a cause of any actions. There are 5 things involved: the body, the senses, the air, myself as Atma, and Paramatma. And the question came, are we independent contributor or dependent contributor? When we refer to Brahma Sutra, we found kartā śarīra-vāṅ-manobhir. Jivatma is the doer. Otherwise, the Vedas will be useless, as the instructions are given to Jivatma. Paramatma doesn't need to learn anything new. And of course, instruction cannot be given to Achit, that is the body, senses, and prana. Therefore, it is clear the doer is the Jivatma. Then the question came, if he is the doer, is he dependent doer or independent doer? Then the next sutra said, parātu tat-śrutehe. The term tu here refers to dependent. Therefore, Jivatma is completely under the mercy of Paramatma. He is depending on the Paramatma to do any actions. That brought up to the third question, if Jivatma is depending on Paramatma, then why Jivatma should take responsibility of any reaction that comes out of his action? It all should go to Paramatma, as Paramatma is the one, seem to be the main cause who's making the Jivatma to perform certain action, as Jivatma is fully depending on Paramatma. And the third sutra gives the answer for this. Krita prayatnāpekṣastu. That is, Paramatma is fully depending on the prayatana, the initial effort of the Jivatma. That is, the Jivatma takes the first step, which then becomes the starting point for the Lord to make that action happen through the Jivatma. For example, the Lord does not pull someone randomly and make him go help someone. The Lord does not pull someone randomly to go hurt someone. Now let's understand the different stages that the Lord takes to make things happen. The first stage is called Adya Pravritti. Second stage is called Dvitiya Pravritti. And the third is Tritiya Pravritti. In the first stage of the action, that is even before the action is commenced, the Lord takes the neutral position. He stays as Udāsīna, very neutral. At this stage, the living entities are given freedom by the Lord to make the choices. After the choice has been made by the living entity, then the Lord takes the second position as Anumanta, where in this stage he sanctions the action. Please understand, he only sanctions the action, not the reward at this time, because the reward is totally based on various other factors. Otherwise, for example, if I want to become the President of United States, that is what I want to become, and I want to do certain actions towards achieving that goal. So in this Anumanta stage, the Lord allows, sanctions my action, just the action only, not that I will be the President of United States. And the third position that he takes is Dyutaka. He becomes the source of influence. He triggers one into that action. If my action is going to be bad, he gives the power for me to do that bad things. Likewise, if I do the good things, he is the one who gives the power for me to do the good things. Like Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, their strength comes from the Lord. Likewise, Prahlad, Dhruva, their strength to perform bhakti also comes from Krishna. So, 3 stages: Udasina, where he is neutral, and second stage, Anumanta, where he sanctions the action, and third stage, Dyotaka, where he empowers the person to do that particular action. One may ask a question: why even God gives us freedom to make choices? That seems to be the main problem for us to do wrong things. Well, Krishna doesn't want us to be treated like the flock of sheep, and moreover, he doesn't want to be a shepherd. The reason he gives this freedom is because he has given us all that we need to cultivate proper, right knowledge, to do right things and avoid doing wrong things. He has given us the intelligence. He has given us to make the choice on our own. In this stage, he doesn't want to interfere in our choice. That's why he stays neutral as Udasina. Well, that's fine, but why he needs to take a second stage as Anumanta? He sanctions all kinds of actions. Well, otherwise it could be that anything could happen without Lord's sanction. Either good or bad action one cannot execute without the sanction of the Lord. Else we will start thinking God is just Udasina, neutral. He has no power, no control. I can do whatever I want. Then one may think in this stage that I am independent because I can make choices. I do not have to depend on making choices on the Supreme Lord. It is only the sanctioned part where he becomes active. So I have a free will which I can do whatever I want to. So God doesn't play any role, he is neutral. Well, we should know that he was given that independence, minute independence, to make choices just for that particular time. So even that independence is dependent on Lord's mercy alone. If needed, he could have not given that. Therefore, our free will is completely depending on the free will of the Lord, who gave us this independence just for that moment before the action begins. From this, it is clear that we are, the Jivatma is the doer, kartā, But to understand how we are not independent, we are dependent on the Lord, we need to learn two terms. One is called samanya karana, another one is called vishesha karana. This will make sense with a simple example. A farmer makes the land fertile and plants various kinds of seeds like pumpkin, brinjal, okra, even various fruits, grapes, apple, mangoes. Then he waters these seeds on a periodic basis, puts necessary fertilizer. So the land used in this process is the same land. Water is also same water. The fertilizer is also same. The farmer is also same, is common. But at the end, the result is not same. It is variegated. There's various different types of vegetables and fruits that comes out. Apple tree does not give mangoes. From the beans plant, one does not get grapes. Neither the okra seed does not produce pineapple. Why? Because each of these seeds has its own specific Shakti, power, to grow only certain things. Even though the water, fertilizer, land, light, everything is in common. Keeping this example in mind, let's see the world. We see so many types of beings: aquatics, plants, insects, reptiles, birds, animals, human, and within these beings, again, there are so many variations. Just take a simple example of a tiger. Tigers are Bengal tiger, Siberian tiger, Caspian tiger, South China tiger, Bali tiger. Of course, if you take the familiar animal like dog, there are German Shepherd, Pomeranian, Bulldog, Golden Retriever, Doberman, Siberian Husky. And if we take parrots as an example, African grey parrot, cockatoos, Senegal parrot, Amazon parrot, and the list goes on. Again, when we come into human, we are classified into different groups based on our nation, based on our color, based on our appearance. But for all the living entities to be born to perform action by their thinking process and desires, the Lord has given facilities. Like the farmer gave the facility for the seed to sprout. Here the seed is vishesha karana, specific cause. And the general cause are the farmer, water, land, light, which is known as samanya karana, which is common to the vishesha karana. The vishesha karana that has been mentioned here are the individual karmas, decisions and desires, whereas the Lord becomes the samanya karana to create this world, to give us the body, senses, prana, buddhi, etc. So now the question is, what is the use of blaming the common cause, samanya karana? It is the specified cause, the vishesha karana, should be blamed. So one person becomes a thief, whereas one person becomes a charitable person. One becomes a yogi, one becomes a businessman, one becomes a pandit, one remains to be a fool. All these are because of the influences of the previous karma of each individual. Those who are doing good, the Lord further encourages that person to be good. For those who are doing bad, the Lord let them engage in bad activities as they desire, through which the respective individual Atma reap their action. Those who performs good action get good result because the Lord is pleased. Those who perform bad action gets bad result because the Lord is displeased. Nevertheless, the Lord always tries to give opportunity even to those who are in the path of adharma. Then what to speak about those who are in the path of dharma? The Lord tries to bring them to the shelter of a saintly person, a guru, so that the individual Atma can progress towards Krishna consciousness. Let's learn more on these 3 stages of the Lord in our next session. Namaste, Hare Krishna.